Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Well, I'm bacheloring it up this weekend. Yes, I know I'm running a little bit late here on the show. If you're new to This Is 50, welcome to This Is 50. This is my mental health show. This is where I kind of get things off my chest. I kind of talk about things that I've observed, witnessed, running across here in the last couple days. Oh, hold on. The last week, we do the show every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're running a little bit behind. I had a window guy come over and get me some quotes on some replacing my windows. Nice guy. He's been in business for maybe a year. And young kid. I say young kid. He's probably 33, 34 years old. And so wants to talk, wants to sell the job, wants to know that he's a common man. But he's good. So run a little bit behind here. But I am by myself this whole entire weekend. My wife left on Thursday, flew down to Florida. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Flew down to Florida, and her niece's graduation's this weekend. She's getting her master's degree at, I forget what it is, but I know what a master's degree is. I just don't know what she's getting it in. And she's going to spend the whole weekend down there with them. So, again, while the mice are away, the cats will play. Is that how it goes? Maybe I got it backwards. But if you've been listening to this show for any length of time, this show's been going on for almost 4 years, coming up on 5 years, that when my wife goes out of town, I eat horrible. When I say I eat horrible, it's DiGiorno pizza, Ho-Ho's, Doritos after Doritos, chocolate milk, Krispy Kreme donuts, all the stuff I'm not allowed to have in the house. But you're like, Travis, where's your dad? Well, that's another story in itself. I had the whole entire house to myself for 4 days. No, my dad's still around. Don't worry. He's around, but he's in what they call a better situation. And I'll dive into that story here. That's your tease. I'll dive into his story here in a little bit. So I'm at home. I am trying to get like little odds and end things done. It's weird. When you live with someone for any length of time, and there's always someone in your house. You're never alone. Like when my dad's here, I'm never alone. I know he's in his room. I know he just sits there in his chair and stuff. When my wife's away, and he'll come out once or twice, but there's always someone in the house. Now, there's no one in the house this weekend, and I've got the cat. So it's kind of like, you kind of look around, and you're like going, God, this is a new experience for me. Because you walk around and you're like going, at any given time, you're like going, well, my dad should be coming out here soon. Or this will happen, or my wife will come out. But when you're by yourself, like literally by yourself, it's just weird. Do I sleep good? Yeah, I sleep like a baby. I sleep like a baby no matter what. And I know everyone's been wondering what happened last week when I ate the sushi. I made the sushi rolls and stuff with a 3-week-old crab meat. Yep, I ate them. No, it wasn't 3-week-old. It was like coming right up on the cusp. Right up on the cusp last week. Because last week my wife was out of town doing a horse show and stuff. She had my permission. I'd let her go. And then this week she had my permission to go for 4 days down to Florida. And I'm making sushi rolls again. I'm a glutton for punishment. No, but last week I made the sushi rolls, and the crab meat that I used was about a week old. And I say week old, I kept it in the Ziploc bag. I kept it in the refrigerator. And I even asked ChatGPT, hey, is this going to make me sick? And it said, it might. I'm like, okay. Did I eat the whole thing? Yeah, I ate all of it. I saved one log because I made 3 logs. and then you slice them up in rings and stuff. I made 3 logs of sushi, and I left 1 log for my wife so she could see it. Hey, look, this thing that we got, it works really, really well. We're going to do this again. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it this weekend. So I had maybe a couple bubble guts late Sunday afternoon, but I don't know. Could be the beer. But I survived. But this week, I'm getting everything fresh. Everything fresh. And I went to Walmart today. You know, it's Friday. I always go on Friday. Go grocery shopping and stuff. And they were redoing like all the coolers and all the reefer stuff. Everything that had cold food in it, they were redoing it. So there's like small sections of food, but everything was like completely wiped out. I'm like going, what the fuck's going on? And the imitation crab section, which is only like a 4-foot section at the end of the meats and stuff, was completely out of crab. So I said, well, I'm going to do shrimp. So I grabbed a bag of the smallest shrimp. I think it's 91 100s. You want the small shrimp in your sushi roll. And then I go, and I'm looking at all the other different seafood and stuff that's in there. I'm like, what else can I make since the crab is out? You know, crab with a K is out in the bins. What else can I make a sushi roll with? I know. I'm looking, and I see something, and I go, that's new. That's different. They never had this before. But I don't look in this freezer, this cooler, often enough. It was a freezer, stand-up freezer. Lumped crawfish tail meat. Ooh, that sounds interesting. One, I've never had crawfish before. You know, you see the videos where you, with the spine, and you pull it out and you suck the head and all the fat and the lard and all the, it just seems so messy for little reward. This was a packet. It was a 7-ounce packet of nothing but crab meat or crawfish tail meat. I think it was like $9 for 7 ounces. I don't know if that's a good deal or bad deal, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Normally, it'd be 14 bags of Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos, chocolate milk, DiGiorno pizzas, all this stuff. But since I've been running and watching my weight, and I'm doing very well with that, I'm making better choices, smarter choices. I don't know if the sushi's good or bad. I know there's a lot of sodium in it. It's probably not good for my heart or anything, but that's what I'm making. That's what I'm making this week. And I'll post the pictures up on the This Is 50 Facebook page, so make sure you follow us over there. Yep, my dad's not here. He went from, I'm going to the doctor's office, okay, to, I'm going to the emergency room, okay. Do you need anything from me? No. Okay. Let me know what they say. I'll talk to you later. See you, bye. That type deal. But I'll dive into his story when we come back. So stick around. I will take a quick little break and I'll be right back. All right, everyone watching this live, see you later. Make sure you watch the whole entire video over on our YouTube channel. Make sure you give us a subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, hit the bell, whatever, all that shit they do. All right, bye. Take care. I am, this is going to be very, 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 very controversial. I'm thinking of getting off my meds. I know, everyone that just hit the brakes, slammed their car into a tree, is telling me no, don't do it. No, don't do it. The meds I'm on is the Buspirone, and it's such a small dose. It's like 25 milligrams. And I take it twice a day. Now, do I have anxiety attacks anymore? No, not really. Does it make me feel like, do I physically feel something? No, but my lifestyle's kind of changed a little bit. Think about this. When I first was prescribed Buspirone, I was miserable. I was sitting at home, doing these shows, eating, when my wife was out of town eating Doritos and all the bad food and stuff. And then we went on a cruise. And I said, before we go on this cruise, I want to kind of walk around and get my legs in shape because there's going to be a lot of walking and things. I don't want to be a lazy bum on this cruise. I don't want to let my wife down. So I started running. And I think the trade-off is I needed something else for me to do to keep my mind busy. So I'm not sitting here thinking about all the other things that would drive you insane as far as anxiety. People say that that's my, when I work out, I feel so much better. My mind's free. When I go for walks, I go for bike rides, whatever it is, your mind kind of explores itself. It releases all these endorphins and all this, these chemicals that are in your body that helps you deal with things on a daily basis. Now, the only reason why I say I want to get off the medication is because a couple things. I just happen to go through, I was doing some like backlog catalog stuff from some of the other shows that I host, podcast-wise. And even 2 years ago, I was like, wow, I was really, really skinnier in the face. And, I could tell whatever shirt I'm wearing. If you're watching us here on our YouTube video, this is 50, you can see what I'm wearing here. Yep. There you go. The show kind of settled out a little bit. I could see that I was in a better mood and better experience when I was rewatching these videos 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And then I got on this medication and I literally did not feel like doing shit. They even had to switch it up on me because like everything just stopped. I forget what the first one I was on, but I just did not want to do anything. I did not want to do anything. I said, I'm too active. I'm too spontaneous. I'm too, this and that. And you guys can tell, just talking to me or listen to me, or those of you who know me, that I'm pretty much proactive as far as like doing stuff. Being on this medication, it kind of sedates my lifestyle, if that makes any sense. And as I'm watching these videos of me 2.5 years ago, and I'm like going, God, look at my jowls. Look at I'm talking and I feel I'm watching myself. I know, a little narcissistic, but no, because I have to critique myself as far as making a good product for all the other shows. And I'm watching myself and I'm like going, God, I was really, really focused. I was really, really whatever. And I go, what are the side effects? Is weight gain part of the side effects? No, weight gain's not necessarily a side effect, but it does make you not want to do anything. Well, yeah, no shit. I don't want to do anything when I'm on this medication. And then people on the other side of that go, well, if you get off of it, then you think you're better. Oh, I'm healed. You get off of it and you spiral out of control again. Well, I'm not cutting it out cold turkey. But do I need it at 9 o'clock at night? And my doctor, who's probably, part of Big Pharma, says, well, you never know when you're going to have an anxiety attack. And you don't want to take it, as you're having one, because then it kind of negates itself. So I take one every morning, 25 milligrams. And then I take one at night. Never the same time. But I take one at night. And I kind of go, I felt like I was more fun. My wife would probably say different. My wife would say that I was probably a little bit more angst, a little bit more out of control. I say out of control. More aggressive before taking these pills. Not that I did any harm or anything to her, just my perception and my train of thought was a little bit more. I was pissed. I was aggressive. But most of that was because my dad had just moved in and basically just shook up my whole entire life. If you rewind the shows and listen to the past shows and stuff, I didn't think my dad, moving up here would affect me that bad. And I think that's what it was. Now that my dad's here, As far as you know, he's still here. I think my mentality has relaxed a little bit. So I don't know. I was thinking about it. Yes, I know. This is a conversation that I need to have with my doctor. Well, I told you about my new doctor. He probably won't be there this March when I go back. I'll probably ship him out somewhere else. But yes, it is a conversation. Don't worry. I know. Don't worry. I'm not going to just cut it cold turkey. Maybe I'll just stop the nighttime one. Don't tell my wife. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I will reach out to my doctor, though. The one who has not prescribed this to me, but I'll just reach out to him and see what happens. Or I'll just talk to ChatGPT. It's more reliable. I feel bad for my wife. And I tried to tell her last night when I talked to her. My wife was going to drive down to Florida. Now, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. And her niece is getting her master's degree, graduating. And she wants to go down there, of course, to see her niece graduate. And they got sisters and stuff down there. The nieces do. So it's like 3 nieces and their families and all that. And she said to me, she's like, do you want to go down there or not? Because they need a ticket. Not, you know, it's an ultimatum. And at the time I was like going, I don't feel like I need to go down there. I want to go down there. Believe me, I want to go down there and visit the family, her side of the family down there. And see all, you know, how they progressed in life and all that. You know, one's married, one's dating, one's doing whatever. I said, but I don't feel right leaving the house right now. I don't know what it is, you know, intuition or whatever, but I don't want to go down there. And she goes, all right, well, I'll drive the car down there. I'll drive my car down there. I said, why don't you just fly? Because gas right now is what, $4.15 up here in the Carolinas. And she's got a turbo, so she can't put the cheap stuff in there. She has to put the 93 in there, and everyone will go, oh, 93 and blah, blah. No, she's got a turbo in there. And believe me, when you put the other stuff in there, it doesn't take off like it should. It's an Audi Q5. And so we always put the 93 octane in there. And it, you know, it's $90 and it takes a tank and a half. So you're looking at, you know, what's that, 135 down, 135 back? That's 270 round trip, 8 hours, door to door. Find a flight, babe. It's just you. Fly down there and they'll pick you up, or Uber or whatever like that. And then, you know, it's a 2-hour flight. She's like, you know what? I really didn't do the math. I was just, you know, out of habit, we just drive down there. So she found a flight. It was like $370. I'm like, even still, babe, it's 2 hours to get down there, right? Well, on a flight. Hour and 45 minutes. But it's these small little airports. These small little airports. Like, she flew out of Concord here in North Carolina. I think they have like 12 gates. And flying into Sanford, Florida, which has 12 and a half gates. And it's these, you know, third-party airlines. Aveno, something like that. Aveo. And the flight was supposed to take off at like 5:40. And she gets there, you know, goes through TSA. There's one guy there, you know, TSA and stuff. Yeah, come on through. Everything's fine. And the flight gets delayed. Oh, now my flight's at 5:45 now. Then 6:45. She didn't get down there till 9 o'clock at night. And I go, oh, it might have been 9 o'clock at night. It might have been sooner than that. But still, it was delayed. And then by the time she got down there, you know, on the tarmac, they didn't have anyone to unload the plane and do all the baggage stuff. So you know, what would have turned into a normal 2-hour trip down to Florida took, you know, another 5 hours. And I said, babe, I feel so bad because I talked to you. She's like, no, everything's fine. She's like, I'm tired. I'm exhausted. They bought Olive Garden for me. I'm going to eat that. I'm like, ooh, Olive Garden? Really? Damn it. Missed out on that. She's like, I'm fine. I said, yeah, but I made you do it. And I feel that your experience, and this is where my brain works, my decision informing you about taking a flight down there has affected your whole entire trip, going down there and being frustrated instead of just driving down there. She goes, look, babe, she's like, if I was to drive down there, it was pouring down rain in North Carolina. We had a big squall that came through. She's like, I would have been driving in that for 3 hours before it would even cleared up. And then driven another 5 hours late at night, through Georgia and through the Panhandle and all that stuff through Jacksonville. Late at night, I would have been exhausted. I'd rather be exhausted from a plane flight than driving the whole entire time. I said, okay, good. All right, so I don't feel bad. She's like, no, you're good. Go to bed. Take your medicine. I was right. To an extent. I was right. And I don't understand why we do this. Because there's groups of people that do this and follow up with it. And I'll talk about that when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. So this weekend, I'm going to make some sushi. I made the rice already. That's what takes the longest part, is making the rice. Did you wash it? Did you rinse it off? Fuck no. Just put the jasmine rice in there. But I do get the jasmine rice. It's if you're watching this here on the YouTube video, it's the jasmine rice that's in a bag about this big. And it's yellow and it's got a whole bunch of Ching Chong Chinaman writing on it. I go, well, that's got to be good. They wouldn't put that on there if it wasn't good, instead of like great value. And I just let it boil. And then the starch kind of boils off of that. And I add more water back to it. And boom, it's rinsed off, right? They didn't say when to rinse it off. They just said rinse it. So I'm going to do that this weekend. That's my meals. Now, the reason why I bring this up, I told you that, I do the whole Bachelor food shopping. Oh, I forgot I put hot dogs on there. Not on the sushi. When I used to do the Bachelor shopping, I used to buy, pack hot dogs and eat those the whole entire weekend. This time around, I was a little bit better with it. I was proud of myself of making better choices because I have worked hard. I don't know how much it shows on camera now. If you're watching us here on the YouTube channel, This is 50 show. But I feel better. Every morning I wake up, my legs are hurting, my Achilles heel is working, plantar fasciitis, whatever you want to call it. It takes me a couple steps to get moving, and I'm 53 years old now. But I do run, 4 miles. And not on a flat plateau. It's up and down hills here in North Carolina, country back roads. So I'm making better choices as far as what I eat. But I do on Sundays, and I made a comment about the Cool Ranch Doritos. I do eat now, used to be the big bag. Now I eat the smaller bag. And when I say the smaller bag, not the ones that you see when you buy like a Subway sandwich or something. They give you like the bag that's got like 4 chips in it and like Dorito dust on the bottom, and that's it. No, the bag that's like $4 at the grocery store. A little bit bigger bag, not the family size that doesn't say, party size on it. No, I'm not party of one. Come on. How much food can one man eat? I get the one down from that. I have done that for the last couple weeks, and I will sit there in my chair, my luxurious chair. I'm rubbing the table like, ooh, yeah. And I watch movies in the morning on Sunday, and I watch movies all the way up till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I will eat that whole entire fucking bag. Yes, the whole entire fucking bag I will eat. Because it's a reward. It's like a reward. So when I say I was right, this is a conversation that my wife and I had between the two of us. The conversation that I had, I'm going to do something real quick here. The conversation that I had between my wife and I was on the flight back home. Not necessarily the flight back home from Europe after we spent, 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks in Europe with this lovely, beautiful group of people. It was the conversation that we had driving from the airport, Charlotte Douglas, back to our house, which is about an hour and 15 minutes away. I said, we are probably never going to talk to these people again. Don't say that. No, it's true. I know. We're never going to talk to these people again. Well, they have our numbers and stuff, and the Facebook. I said, yeah, I know. It's going to last. The nostalgic of it is going to wear off within a week and a half. And everyone's going to go back to their quote-unquote boring life, doing other things, and forget about us. And we're going to forget about them. Not necessarily in the sense that, we're not going to forget about them, but forget about, I don't need to reach out to them. I don't need to make contact with them. I got my own family problems and issues and stuff that I have to deal with here on, where we live at in our little world here in Marshville. They've got the same thing. They've got their own little world and things going on in their lifestyle, and they just don't overlap. There's two people where our worlds kind of overlap. And I've kept in contact with them. And got their phone number, texting them now and then, hey, how you doing? Everything good. He was worried about getting a new job, and he's got a new job when he came back from Europe and stuff, and he started his job. And then he didn't know what was going on, when he got home. And so I text him, hey, you're good. I'm good. We're good. Kind of text back and forth, and he talks about the show now and then. So I know hopefully he's going to listen to this one if I don't scare him off. Because a week went by, and I haven't heard anything from him. Normally he says, hey, hey, that was funny what you said, about Amy or whatever, and hope you guys are doing good. Right back at you. Hope you and Kelly are doing good as well. So this week went by, and nothing. I was like, okay, he's fallen. The two of them have fallen into that pit where you don't talk to anyone anymore. You just kind of go, all right, I'm done with him. I'm not, I got my own shit going on, and he's got his own shit going on. He doesn't need, constant gratification or constant approval from me for anything. And vice versa, I'm sure. So, but I haven't heard it. I like the guy. I like the guy a lot. And I said, hey, man, I haven't heard from you for a while. Here's the latest show. You doing all right? I hope you're doing all right. He replies back after not hearing from him for like 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, I've been in the hospital for extensive heart surgery. And he's a young guy. He's like not even 40 years old. Extensive heart surgery and the valve and stuff. And he's long, one of those people that texts like paragraphs, which is fine by me. I love that. But I'm sitting there trying to read it and I'm like going, holy Jesus Christ. Yeah, remember I was telling you on our trip that I was going to have, I've got this thing, this SVT. It is, hold on, I don't want to pull it up here on the show. I don't want to get it wrong, but he was telling me, he's like, yeah, I had to go in there and had a stent put in, and it took 6 hours of surgery and all this other stuff. He goes, so I've been dealing with that. I'm trying to recover and, all this. And I'm like going, huh. So my wife comes in the bedroom because I'm laying in bed with my readers on, and what are you doing? I'm just reading some text message. She's like, how long is that text message? I said, well, it's from Dan. Well, what does it say? And I go, well, and I'm trying to read it. I said, what's this? She's like, oh, that's, I don't know what that is. I said, well, look it up. And she says, basically, what he had, and I'm not sitting here doing his dirty laundry out here. I guess there's a symptom where blood pumps into your heart, but doesn't pump out fast enough. I could be wrong. I'll probably get a text message after he listens to this show. That's not right, stupid. You're a moron. I'm never going to talk to you again. You know, blah, 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 blah. I said, here I am worried that I've said something or done something wrong, or he's just tired of me. He's tired of riding the Trav train. I just want to make sure that he was okay, because I like the guy. I like both of them. They're both a great couple. And so he texts back and said that, you know, hey, no, I've been in the hospital, you know, doing all this stuff a couple weeks, and they removed everything, you know, roto-rooted everything, and you brought me back to life, and I'm good. I'm good. Sorry, I've been behind on your precious little show that you sit there and drink beer and chat into a microphone for an hour and 15 minutes or whatever the length of the show is. This is what plays in my mind. Maybe I should stay on the medicine. Sorry, I didn't get back to you quick enough to respond to any of your shit. Stupid. But I'm good. I can't move. My heart's still good. My girlfriend's still with me. What have you been up to, loser? He didn't say that, but in my mind, that's the storybook that was playing. And I was like, oh shit, man, that's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. And God, I feel like a fucking heel. Fucking heel, man. I did. I felt horrible. Kind of like making my wife take a plane down there. It's the choices in my head that I made that just made me, I don't know. Maybe I should stay on the medication. Maybe I should. I know. I saw my dad's ass for the first time in my life. Well, second time, but the first one doesn't count. And let's see, where am I at on time? I know, I'm already there. This is going to take a lot. So this is going to be a couple different segments. We're going to talk about what happened with my dad and the things that I learned, the things that I saw, and the things that I found out. So stick around. I'll be right back. So my new neighbors, Travis, her, she said, I made some strawberry jelly. I said, okay. Stop by on your run and come get some. All right. So here in the Carolinas, they have you pick them, you eat them type thing. Strawberry patches and stuff. They have some down in Plant City. We used to go down there in Florida. They have the Strawberry Festival, where they basically just give you like strawberry shortcake. Everything's strawberry shortcake and derivatives thereof, but you can get a whole flat of strawberries. When I say a flat, it's big, for like $4. It's kind of cool, kind of backwoods. It's one of those Florida things that people do when you live in Florida. But here, I guess they have fields and stuff around us somewhere. I've never done it. And it says, you pick them. Strawberries, pointed there. So they picked a bunch of strawberries. She made something called freezer jelly. Are you familiar with that? I told my wife, she's like, freezer jelly? Would she just make jelly and freeze it? I said, no, I think it's a process. There's a process to making jelly. Now, a good friend of ours, more my wife's than mine, made us blueberry jelly or jam. And what you have to do is you have to heat it up. You have to, do all this stuff. You have to add stuff to it, and then you put it in a jar and you kind of can it, and it vacuum seals and, and you open the lid up and, pops right out and you eat it. This supposedly freezer jelly is no quote unquote heating it. You're not doing it like you're canning vegetables for the summer months. You put, strawberries, some sugars, some pectin, something like that. Kind of like a gel. Hoof. It's hoof juice. And then you shake it up, you heat it up just a little bit to melt the pectin, and then you put it in the freezer and let it do its thing in the freezer. There's like no high heat, I guess. Travis, when you get done with your run, because her house is the second to the last house at the end of my run, stop by and get some of this jelly. I got 16 jars of this. I said, okay. Why do you need 16 jars of? Well, Travis, we got a whole bunch of strawberries. I didn't know what to make with them. I said, you can make a bunch of things. Yeah, but they're not going to last. And plus, I got, clients and stuff, because they own their own business. So I got clients and stuff. I can hand them out to them and all that. So I said, all right, fine. Now it's a, 16-ounce mason jar. So now at the end of my run, I've got a 16-ounce mason jar of freezer jelly in my hand. And I'm running, down the street and stuff. It was good. It was really good. My wife eats it with her cottage cheese in the morning. She takes a little bit of spoonful of that. She likes a sweet cottage cheese. I'm more of a garlic and hot sauce cottage cheese guy. It's delicious. So my dad, here we go. Get ready. My dad's got 3 major doctors that he sees. He's got one for his heart, he's got one for his skin, and then he's got his regular primary care, right? The reason why he has the one for his skin is because my dad does not have a face. Not a face, but I mean, eyes without a face. He doesn't have a nose. He doesn't have part of his forehead. He doesn't have the top part of his skull. He's missing patches and things all over his arms, and the list goes on. Because he's got melanoma, skin cancer. So they're always removing something from him. That's a skin doctor. His heart doctor, being coming up on 80 years old next month, he's got something called AFib. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like when Dan told me he's got SCV. Hold on, I'm gonna find out what he actually has. Well, bear with me one sec, because I don't want to negate what he actually told me, because some of you out there might have it. Let's see. He said that he has. Oh God! Now I'm reading it back. I'm like going, Jesus Christ. There's a lot of what he went through. SVT. That's what he had. And they had to put plugs in him, intubate him. I don't know what that is. Put plugs in his incisions, and I'm reading this text messages. And that's a lot. That's a lot for someone. He's a young guy. But my dad has his heart doctor. He's got an AFib. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to sit here and look for it right now. His primary care is just primary care. Thumb in the ass, turn and cough, blood pressure, whatever. But it's all, 2 of them are in the same building. There's a hospital down there called Atrium Healthcare. So he's in there. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning. Okay, what time? 9 o'clock. So if you see me leaving, that's what I'm doing. Okay. See you later, Dad. Drive safely. So he drives to his appointment, and then probably an hour and a half later or something, I get a phone call, and it's from my dad. Dad, what's wrong? Do you need me to pick you up? Please tell me you didn't drive into a ditch or something. And we have the Life 360, so I didn't get an alert, so I know that didn't happen. Well, I'm in the emergency room. Dad, what did you fall on the way to your doctor's appointment? Did you trip over something? No. My heart's 160 beats per minute. I'm like, holy shit. In the back of my mind, I'm like going, that's what put me in the fucking hospital. No one ever told me I had AFib. I don't know if that's what AFib is, but still. Okay, Dad. And I feel bad because I'm literally, I am very, very, I'll admit this. I am very, very more focused on, how's this going to affect my fucking life? No matter what happens to anyone, friends, family, just things in general, how's this going to fucking affect my life? And I'm rubbing my eyes here if you're watching this on YouTube. Dad, do you need anything from me? Well, not right now. Okay. what did they say? Well, I'm in here now. They got me hooked up. Okay, do you need me up there? No. And he sounds defeated. No, I don't need you coming up here. I said, okay. I said, fine. All right. You don't need me up there? Fine. Cool. I can go about my day. Talk to you later, Dad. Let me know if anything changes. See you, bye. Click. Then I go, fuck. I'm such a asshole. I'm such an asshole. And I know this. I've told my wife, no, you're not an asshole. Sometimes you're a dick, but you're not an asshole. Well, front or back, I'm still one of those too. So I sit there and I call my wife. And it's in the middle of her peak day. She's got business calls after whatever all morning long. And normally I don't call her at all. And if I do have to call her, she's probably thinking to herself, well, he just wants to ask me something. I'm not going to bother with it. So I call her because I want her advice. I call her. And I know how someone just sends you right to voicemail? Dude. I said, all right, she's on a call. I understand that. So I'm sitting here, thoughts in my head, on the driveway of my house, because I was getting ready to do something. I said, fuck. All right, here we go. Big leap. Crossing over a bridge. Big bridge for Travis to cross over. I get in my car, my truck, Chevy Silverado 1500 or 2500 series. Don't diminish my truck. And I drive up there. I park. I find out where he's at. And I go into the emergency room. Dad, what the fuck happened? Oh, you didn't have to come in here. Yeah, Dad, I had to. Because if not, and something happens to you, I would never feel good for the rest of my life. You would have died here, in my mind. You would have died here in the emergency room. Dad, what's going on? And as soon as I got there, he's like, well, and I'm looking at it, at his meters. And it literally says, like, his heart thing, doot. It was going from 160, 140, 150, 190, 170, 120, 130. And it was like that fast. It was changing. His blood pressure was 140 something over 120 something. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't say that. Until the nurse said, that's really high. And then I said, oh, okay, this is an emergency. This is literally an emergency room operation type deal that we're doing here. So we sat there. They gave him drugs. I was up there for probably maybe 2 or 3 hours. Saw the whole cycle. Everyone came in. He got, we're going to put this on you. We're going to do this to you. We're going to do this to you. And then it got to be like in the afternoon. I had to go get hay for the horses because it was getting ready to storm here. That big swath. Remember I told you a big swath, the rain coming through? It was coming, and I can't drive the truck and have hay in the bed of the truck and have it get wet because it'll mold. And then it'll be ruined. Damn it. I said, Dad, are you okay for now? I asked the nurse. I said, is he okay for now? Do you mind if I step out or something? And they're like, whatever you need to do, honey. Black nurses and stuff. My father, I would sit here all night long. Well, I'm sorry, but there's other people that's dependent on me. Other animals and shit. Nah, I didn't say that. That didn't happen. But that's what was going on in my head. He kept going, I apologize. You ruined your day. I said, no, everything's fine. Let me go do my stuff, and then I'll call you later on this evening to see when they're going to move you to whatever room. Are you going to be staying overnight? I assume you're going to stay overnight. We're going to move you to a room, or they're going to move you to a room. I just need to know what's going on. So I'll give you an update when we come back here in just 1 sec. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, because it gets interesting. Because I learned a lot of new shit that the hospitals are doing. I was like going, really? That's what you're giving them? That's it's like a child's toy. So stick around. I'll be right back. So I'll give you a little side quest update. Well, I was sitting in the emergency room with my dad. And if you go back and listen to the episode about me being in the emergency room, remember I told you about the one guy? His name's True. Hey, what's up, bro? I'm going to stick this in your arm. This is your pick line and stuff, and we're going to just take care of you. So while I was in the emergency room, same hospital, same building, all that stuff, I'm, as my dad's sitting in there and he's getting whatever meds and stuff, I step out of the room and kind of, looking around the hallway. Where the fuck is this fucker? I hope to God my dad doesn't have to deal with him. I'm looking around. Where the fuck is, quote unquote, True? Where's this fuck nut at? I didn't see him. I thought I saw a guy look like him. Like going, you motherfucker. No, didn't see him. He probably got fired. Being too righteous. Yeah. Dipshit. So after I left my dad in the emergency room, I went back home, did what I had to do, called him up at like 5 o'clock. Hey, any news? What's going on? Well, they're going to move me to PCU. I said, okay, my room number, I don't know my room number yet, so I'll let you know what that is. I said, all right. When are they going to do it? About an hour. I said, okay, it's getting close to, and I'm at home, and I'm looking at my fake watch here on my wrist. I said, well, I got to feed the horses and stuff. And I think visiting hours cut off at like 8 o'clock. I said, well, I'm not going to be able to come up tonight. I'll come up and see you in the morning. All right. And I go, I'll talk to you later, Dad. Don't go anywhere. Okay. I don't know if he knew what I was talking about, but the story continues. So next morning I get up there and they moved them to, my wife comes home. Actually, let me rewind a little bit. My wife comes home. What's wrong with your dad? What's the latest? I said, they've moved him to PCU. She's like, what the fuck is that? I said, I don't know. I've never heard of that before. So it's Progressive Care Center. Did I say all right? PCU? Progressive Care Unit. That's what it is. Sorry. The letters didn't match up. Basically, he's fine. He's stable. They just have to administer drugs and stuff to him every 6 hours, so they don't need him taking up an emergency room. So they moved him to somewhere where they can give constant care to him. So he was in there for a day, and I went up there, and I'm like going, hey, hey, it's your son. How you doing? Tap dancing into the room. Oh, and anyone, I guess at that age, I don't want to be here. Well, Dad, okay. So I got there early enough. He had breakfast, so I was there at 9 o'clock in the morning. I forwent my run. Oh, good job, Trav. Good job. Priorities, right? Priorities. Forwent my run. Went up there and talked to him. See how he was doing. A good face-to-face. His heart rate was down a little bit. It was still bouncing between 140 and 120. It was just skipping around, bing, 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 bing. Come to find out, he's got an acute case of pneumonia. So the infection is what was giving his heart rate those high repetitions. So they said, we're going to, working on a drip. Thank God you came in now. Yada, yada, yada. You'll be fine. You'll be good. We just got to get your heart rate down because of the infection. Cool. I don't know what they're talking about or whatever, but I'm like, cool. Here's where it gets a little interesting. As I'm sitting there with my dad in this room of solitude, it's quiet. We don't have the TV on. It's just me and him. And he's trying to, eat his breakfast, and nurses are coming in, and like every 15 minutes, someone's coming in to do something for him. Can I move your chair, Mr. Holmes? Can I get you something? Can I take that away? Hi, I'm such and such with you. Ready for your lunch menu? I'm thinking to myself, he hasn't even finished breakfast. You want his lunch menu now? Then the panel of doctors come in. First, the heart doctor comes in. I don't understand what he's saying. He's an Indian guy. I mean, strong Indian accent. Sleeper cell, 9/11, whatever. Don't move. We're going to increase your Tower 1 to 50 milligrams, and then Tower 2, we'll give you and get you off this stuff. All right, fine. I know, that's horrible. I know. They've come such a long way since then. Then another nurse comes in, and then the janitor comes in, and they're doing, and I'm sitting there, I'm like going, Dad, you can't get any rest. Everyone keeps coming in this room. But that's what the PCU room is. Then the panel of doctors come in. It's a doctor from his primary care, a infectious doctor, and then other doctor. I don't know. He's bothering me, asking me questions. I'm going, I don't fucking know. And they're all young. They are so young. Every single one of them. Under the age of 35 or right at 35. Bedside manners. Okay. Basically, they were saying that, we need to get his blood pressure down, or not his blood pressure, his heart rate down. We're going to take him off the drip. We're going to give him pills and see if we can get everything under control. And then they are like going, and this is like Thursday, and we'll try to get him out of here by Friday. Friday afternoon, we'll get him out of here. Well, that's good news, right? So they go away. So I go, all right, Dad, all you got to do is get your heart rate down. So stop fucking around. Start working on this. And then I hear, I go, what the fuck is that? He starts giggling because he's sitting in his chair trying to eat his breakfast. I go, Dad, what the fuck is that noise? He goes, just wait. And I look around the room and he goes, that's my pee tube. I said, a pee tube makes that noise? Do they not do catheters anymore? He goes, no, it's this bag or something that, I don't know. I said, they don't stick the hose in your pee hole anymore? He goes, they put something on me. He goes, I don't even know what it looks like. But he said, I can pee in this chair and it sucks it up into the quart container up mounted to the wall. And it's some kind of vacuum system to extract this pee. So there's no more tube into the bladder, and it just normally, flows out, and, gravity and suction and all that stuff. I said, that's gross. I said, is it like a condom that they roll it on there and you just pee it? He goes, I don't know what it is. So I was privy to that. I go, what the fuck is, this is weird. And then, I know, and another thing, let's see, where am I at on time here? All right. And then another thing that I found out about him, I saw my dad's ass. Whoops. For the first time. I've never seen my dad naked. Naked. Well, as a child, Travis, you should never see your dad naked. Now and then something happens, you walk by the room and, naked. I saw it one time when I went down to Florida to move him up here. I had to take him to a doctor's appointment. And the doctor basically said, drop trowel, because I'm going to check if you've got a hernia. And when my dad dropped trowel, I kind of went, oh, okay, this is where I turn away. And because I'm in the room with him trying to help him. And I look away, and then his pants go back up. I go, okay. No, he's in the robe, the hospital gown, fully open back, frog butt, I go, that, and I looked at him. And the reason, no, I'm not like weird or anything like that. Well, yes, you are, Travis. You're somewhat weird. The reason why I stared so long is because he had a patch on his back. And the only way I can describe it is it's a triangle with smooth corners. All right, the angles are smoothed out. And it's about the size of I don't know if you're watching this here on the camera. How big is that? How big is that right there? About the size of my hand. Let's do it that way. And it's on the base of his spine. And it looks plastic. Like you can see like physical, like printed writing on it. And I go, I wonder what that is. So as he's peeing in this fucking tube bag catheter thing, I don't know, and he was done, 2 more nurses came in and said, okay, Mr. Holmes, we have to stand you up and check on your patch. So they stand him up. He's weak and stuff. They stand him up. And I said, yeah, Dad, what's up with that patch on your back? Oh, I've got a sore back there. What do you mean you have a sore back there? From what? From when you fell? And when I said you fell, the 2 nurses spun around to me and go, he fell? I said, yeah, he didn't fall here. He fell at home. Oh, okay. Dad, what's going on with your back? And the one nurse basically turned to me and said, it's a bed sore. I said, he hasn't been here that... Oh, you know what? Dad. Huh? That's from sitting in your chair all day long, isn't it? Well, I've got cream at the house that I put on it, and it helps a little bit now and then. I said, you've got a fucking butt bed sore on your ass from sitting at home not doing anything. Not that I expect you to go out there and mow the lawn and paint the house or anything, but because you do not get up and move because you're immobile, because your knees are bad and all the other stuff that you got going on with you, you have a bed sore on your ass from sitting in that chair all day long. Well, they got cream on me. It's helping. All right, Mr. Holmes, we're going to get you a pad for your butt so you can sit on it and be a little bit more comfortable in this chair. Susie? Yes, Wendy? Do we have one of those? And then she hits the button. We need one of those cushions from room 2124 because that person died. They don't need that cushion anymore. Can you bring one in here? It's not in there. We'll find one. Okay. We'll put a pillow under your butt, Mr. Holmes, for now. The pillow he was resting his head on is now under his ass. Bare naked frog ass. Sits on it. And then within 15 minutes, the nurse comes in with this this brand new invention of a butt pad. And I'm going to take a quick little break and dive into what that is. Oh, it gets even funnier. I'm just amazed. Of what they were doing and what he's going through. So stick around. I'll be right back. So my dad sits on the butt pad. And we had a conversation back and forth for a little bit about it. The butt pad essentially was a flotation device. Like a pool floaty. The nurse or assistant, whatever they are, I don't know what their technical names are, has a cellophane bag. She rips it open, pulls the pad out, and it's the size of a seat cushion. And it's got, a hole all the way through in these cells where it's filled up with air. And I said, let me see that thing. So I grab it, and I'm literally, I said, this is like a cheap Walmart pool floaty thing. It's not filled up all the way. Well, no, sir, you don't want to fill it up all the way because, and she's giving me like this technical breakdown like she read the manual and shit, because you want the air to go in between all the different cells in this seat cushion thing, to balance out his body. You don't want to fill it up all the way because then the air can't move and then he's going to sit funny. This is science. NASA, from space created this fucking thing, and he can take it home with him if he wants. I said, Dad, you still have that purple mattress seat cushion that I got when I bought my $3,000 purple mattress? Uh-huh. I said, which one do you like better? My dad, being smart, goes, I kind of like this one. And I go, why? Because you can take it home? Shh. Don't say anything. I'll take it home. But we have one of those cellular... If you ever seen like Purple Mattress, look them up. They were a sponsor for a long time on one of my shows. We have a bed here that that we sleep on, Purple Mattress. We want you guys to come back, by the way. We love your products. And here's a prime example of the Purple Mattress seat cushion that came free when we bought our mattress. It works well for my dad. Unfortunately, it doesn't protect his back. That's why he's got a bed sore. 24 hours goes by. They move him to a regular room. Okay, so he's got a regular room now. He's sitting in the chair. He's doing all the normal stuff. They just come in and give him his shot every 12 hours. Make sure he's got food. Make sure his room's clean. But they're still waiting for his heart rate to come down. So now my wife's home. This is Friday. What's today? I don't even know what day. Oh, it's Friday because we do the show every Friday. Sorry. Lose track of time unless I'm sitting in front of a microphone and a camera. So my wife goes this Friday or this Thursday, I've got the morning off. Let's go see your dad. I said, okay, fine. She's like, don't forget, my flight is at 5 o'clock. I got to be out of the house by 1:30 and all that stuff. I said, I'm fine. Yeah, no problem. This is before the whole delay. So we go up there. My wife and I go see my dad in this new room where it's basically just waiting to be discharged. And we're sitting there talking, and he's finished up lunch, and we're just sitting there chit-chatting, and you remember this? You remember when? What about this? And all this other stuff. We're just kind of chit-chatting back and forth and just kind of get a feel. He's healthy. I say he's healthy. He's active. He's cognate. He's good. He's better than he was at home because he was dealing with this infection in his lung for the last week and a half and not knowing it. He's awake. He's alert. He's answering questions. As far as him walking around, no, that's not happening because they don't want him to walk around. He's got literally like wristbands that say high risk fall, and all this other stuff. So we're sitting there, and I'm against the wall. My wife's sitting down, and my dad goes, classic Holmes comedy. You guys ready for a waterfall? I go, Dad, no. I said, no. I already went through this once. I already know what's coming. Amy's like, what's going on? What do you mean waterfall? What is it? And I kind of motion like pantomime, like, he's going to pee. He's going to pee. She's like, oh. And my wife went through all this with her mom, went through all this stuff. So she's like, this is nothing new to me. Her mom went through the whole, it was a long process. She passed away at an early age. So she's like, this is nothing new. I'm fine. I've got a brother. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. I said, no, babe. I said, go on outside. I said, we'll go outside while he pees. And my dad goes, you better make a decision quick because I said, fine, Dad. Do what you got to do. So we're sitting there, and I'm like looking for the remote for the TV, kind of drown the noise out and stuff. Now, I know my wife has not seen this performance yet. And I go, get ready. I'm like looking for the remote. I said, get ready. And she's like, why? She's like, what the fuck is that? My wife's just as much of a salesman as I am. And I go, that's the new catheter. She's like, they don't do and then, of course, her being a woman, she goes, well, what do women get? I said, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. So he pees, and my wife's sitting there watching the container fill up, and the container's like a 32-ounce whatever screwed into this contraption that's sucking his urine out, and then it stops, and he goes, get ready, part 2. And my dad's name is Oliver Wendell. Everyone calls him OW. OW. And for short, they call him Dub. So my wife goes, OW? Jesus! He's like, I ain't got nothing to do but piss and eat and all this stuff all day long. And I said, yeah, babe, you see this right here? And I'm pointing to all this stuff, the contraptions. I said, he's even found this online. He can have this at Amazon in his room to where he'll never have to leave his room to pee again. And my wife goes, "Oh, you don't want to do that, Mr. Holmes. You don't want to do that, OW." He's like, "Why? I never have to leave my chair." And we both said, "Yeah, and that thing on your back, that sore, it's going to take over your whole entire back. You're going to look like one of those beings from the Last of Us with the skin growth and all that." Well, and I said, "Your room's going to smell like piss." "Well, I look for them online." "Oh, you're not getting them, Dad. You're not getting them. I mean, I'm literally going to put my foot down. You're not getting them." "Okay, I won't get it for now, but eventually I might have to." "All right. Babe, you ready to go?" "Yeah." "Okay. All right, Dad. Amy's going to fly out to Florida. I got some stuff to do around the house. I'll call you the next day in the morning." Called him today. He was supposed to come home today. Today's Friday. Still there. Can't get his heart down. Can't get it the rate right. So as soon as I wrap the show up here, I'll give him a call and find out what's going on. So, yep. In the emergency room 2. When I say 2, I mean also. So there you go. All right, guys. I appreciate you listening to me work all this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. Okay. See you. Bye. What's the latest?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. I guess I'm here overnight.
All right. Well, I mean, you knew you were going to be there overnight, but it's a matter of where are they going to release you tomorrow? That's the thing.
I don't know. They keep saying they'll do it tomorrow when Paul just never seems to come.
Did you see doctors today?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'll let you know.
All right. Well, I'll probably come up there. I will come up there in the morning. So,
Okay.
all righty.
All right.
Talk to you later. Sleep good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Bye. He's pissed. He's pissed.